am just going around with my wee baggie of poop. So it's starting to take shape. Getting some of the gates in, just trying to remember how it all goes again. So this batch should do this row and this wee bit here. Obviously the Pari's not sitting in the right place because we just sort of angled it to give us enough room for the shearing trailer for eating with the wool, etc. So I'll need to reposition it slightly because it should be in line with these posts here. So we'll do that after, once we get it all laid out properly. But yeah, it takes a wee minute just to remember where everything goes, but we took everything off in their lines. So we knew that like that strip was here, that strip was there, that strip was somewhere else. So yeah, it definitely makes it handier when you just go along and just take one at a time off and stack them all up. So let's get this unloaded and try and make this into a wee bit more of a pen. Well, I am just going around with my wee baggie of poop, and I'm up on the big hill at the moment, and I'm just taking another sample from the lambs up here. So this should really have been done before now, but obviously the wedding sort of clashed at the same time, shall we say. So this did take a wee bit of a backseat, which it shouldn't have, and that was really bad of me, but we're here now. We're trying to make up for lost time, so I'm just having a wee wonder, trying to find some fresh lamb poop. This is probably the hardest part, is trying to find fresh samples out on the hill, because obviously they're mixed with the yow still as well, so it's a bit like, is that a lamb one or is that a yow one? So it is quite tricky, but once you've got the sample, it's fine. So I've got some here that looks quite fresh, so I'm just going to take you want about a teaspoonful, so that would be about right. Pop that in my bag, and then Roxy rolling and shit. So I'm just going to scatter myself all over the hill and try and get sort of as diverse a sample as I can. But you know, obviously, as they say, 80% of your worms are in 20% of your lambs, so this is just going to give me an average, but it'll give me a good idea of where they're sitting and if there's any issues that might be preventing them from growing, or if there is an issue but they're not quite stunted yet, we can get on and deal with it before it does bother them, basically. Or if they're absolutely fine, leave them and retest them in a fortnight. So yeah, it is very, very simple. As I say, you know, actually gathering the sample is probably the bit that takes the most time. And then once you get on to the fecal testing kit, it's so simple and you get the results so quickly too. So we shall continue gathering some samples and yeah, get them through the kit later on and get the results back today. So that is the plan for now. We are also silaging, so I am going to get this sample, create my slurry, leave it, and go have a wee nosy at all the tractors and chopper going and see how silage is going. So they're all running away, obviously, because that's what they love to do. But on the whole, the lambs are not looking poorly, in poor condition at the moment. You know, there is the odd one that's maybe got a wee bit of skitter, but then this has been manured recently, so whether it's just a bit of that too. But on the whole, like, they look like they're thriving. I was quite pleased with them when they were in for clipping. but you just never know what's ticking along in the background. And obviously if we can keep them looking fine, and treat an issue if it's there before it starts to really affect them, then that is obviously ideal. Because once they start to be affected by it and start losing condition, that's obviously not a good place to be in. So that's why it's important to keep on top of this. And it's such a simple thing to do. There's so much support and advice out there. I'm very grateful to Pari from FecPack. He's always at the end of the phone if there's any issues. I've also been speaking to Matt from Elanco to get a better understanding about worms and cycles and when's best to do everything, and understanding it in yows as well. So there's so much support out there. Just reach out, ask people. You know, everyone's always very willing to help, and I've realised that because to me this is all new. We very rarely wormed our yows, once a year I think, and well twice a year, sorry, for the yows. And the lambs, we didn't used to worm them until after they were weaned. Okay, we were working less numbers, so whether that helped, there wasn't as much of a challenge maybe, I don't know, but it's been really interesting for me to learn about the different worms, different times a year for worming, different worm products at different times a year, and what to look out for, and when best to treat them, etc. So yeah, it's always a learning curve. You're always learning, and you know, as I say, there's so many people out there willing to help and support in broadening your understanding of it all, which is really important because we don't know it all. And it's actually really challenging to find some lamb poops over here. Maybe I haven't been over here recently. But yeah, anyway, I'm blabbering here. So I think we're kind of getting to the point where I've got enough, maybe. I'll just go one over there and yeah, see from there. So, okay, that's a wee bit of a sketchy one there. So I've just come over to this part of the hill now for my last samples, because this tends to be where quite a lot of the yows hang out. So I'm just going to have a wee wander and see if I can find some more fresh poop. I think that is it. I've got a good even spread of poop from across the hill, so I'm going to take that back now, put it through the kit and see what it's saying. We are back again in the lambing container this time, and I've weighed out my bag of poop, so just going to pour the water in and then make our slurry. So then we just squeeze it all up. So slurry is all made, so I'm going to go pour this into the beaker, one of these, and then leave it for half an hour to settle, and then I'll come back and pour out, dilute it, sorry, pour it out, and then put it in the wee pipettes, etc. So next up, let's get this into this. So there's the wee line obviously on the beaker, so we'll just, you really don't need very much. I'll just pour it, turn it in so I can actually see. There we go. And then we'll keep this in case for whatever reason it doesn't work. I'm going to just leave it in the sink there. In case I have to do it again. Then I don't have to go and get more poo and blah blah blah. So always make sure you keep it until you've finished the whole process. So filled up to the water line on the beaker, and we'll leave it now for half an hour to settle. You can kind of see there that there's like wee bits kind of starting to float to the bottom. So that'll be fibre and any eggs should float to the bottom. So the results have come back for the lambs at 400 odd eggs per gram. So there is obviously traces of nematovirus there, but I've spoken to Pari again and he was saying that, you know, your 12 to 8 week old lamb, if it's been exposed and been dosed, should be okay against nematovirus. Difference if it's strong giles or a different type of worm. Anyway, so spoken to him and we have come up with the plan that we're gonna, there's a couple mucky ones, but like on the whole they're all generally okay. So we've decided that we're going to treat the mucky ones, basically. So that is the plan. I am gonna go and gather them off the hill now with these two rascals, just filling up the bike with fuel, and then we'll go take them in and get the mucky ones dosed. Someone's more. Alright, Rox! Please excuse the whistles here in this rough bit. Hey girls! Another successful gather. It's not easy trying to shift over 1,000 heads. Sheep are in. We have got them in, ready to go. As always, this is not click. I'm not dosing them with click, I promise you. It's thoroughly washed out and disinfected, and it is back to a white wormer. So the reason that I'm using this containers is it's fine handy because the pipe goes right to the bottom. You don't have to have it tipped upside down and risk leakages or issues. It's so handy to have it this way up. So we're also using the automatic dosing gun from Pari. We are good to go. I've set up the dosing gun, so we've got the white wormer. I've already got it set up in I don't know why it's coming up 1 mil there, but anyway. So yeah, basically you just keep adding new product as and when you need it. Anyway, so that is now talking to the dosing gun and we are good to go. You can see there it says dosing gun and set up, so we are ready. The ewes are just going straight out, don't need them, and I'm not going to shed them, I'm just going to let them run and just dose lambs as I need them. So I might need to adjust these actually to catch the lambs slightly further forward for dosing, but that'll be a bit of play once we get them going through. there, so that's all done. Just this small lot to do. But yeah. Gonna try and put him through the foot bath now. So you can see here that this lamb's put on 3.3 kilos in 6 days, so he's not going to get a dose, so we'll just let him straight out because he's thriving. Come on, mummy. It doesn't help because the mother's behind. So you can see that lamb still put on 0.1, but he is really quite mucky, so I'm just going to give him a dose. So it's worked out that he needs 6.4 ml. So if I try and do this one-handed, it might not work. Oh, and then once it's dosed, it releases him. So you can see that one, he's lost a wee bit. Not a huge amount, but again, is a wee bit skittery. So I've dosed him, so I'll let him go. So again, that lamb's lost a wee bit. He's a wee bit mucky, so we'll just give him a dose as well, just to make sure that there's nothing underlying. All done, all been through the foot bath, all standing for a while on the concrete, and now heading back. I think that's it for this one. Thank you as always for watching. I really do appreciate all the continued support, and I hope you enjoyed this little dosing and fit testing one. Thanks again, we'll see you for the next one.